The dollar a day strategy. Today I'm joined with Dennis Yu, who speaks quite a lot about this, about the small compounding wins on social media with a dollar a day strategy start to help you win long term. Dennis, it's absolutely a pleasure to have you on. For anyone who's watching this, can you just give a simplistic overview of what the dollar a day strategy is?
It's a testing methodology. It has nothing to do with Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or any channel. If you put multiple pieces of content out there according to an objective, leads, views, form fills, appointments, then you're letting the system be able to optimize for you. So one of the companies that we do this for is HVAC Quote. They're a SaaS software, and we took a bunch of videos of showing how the software works, interviewing customers, talking about why it's important to show online quotes, and Google shows that in Maps, all different angles. And the ones that did the best, let's just say, for example, on YouTube, we put $10 a day, $20 a day, but we started at just $1 a day, which is $7 for a week. So we started with Marco Cipolla, we started HVACquote.ai, and we put, I think I had maybe 15 or 20 initial videos. And most of the ones that I thought were the best, James, actually did terrible. As in, we kept maybe 30% of people past the first 15 seconds. The minute-long videos maybe retained, 10% of people. But then the ones that were just kind of fun that we would never have expected would have done well, got a 95% playthrough rate for a minute-long video. And some of them were just kind of off-the-cuff, walk and talk videos, interviewing the top people in the world of HVAC. So if we're selling software to HVAC people, then why not show the top people in HVAC? Why not show other HVAC companies? Why not interview other people that may seem to be competitors? And by putting those out there on Facebook and YouTube and other channels, we drove 100 SaaS customers paying $350 a month in the first 100 days. And it wasn't because we're really good at talking or because we're making whiteboard videos in here or because we had fancy editing. It was simply putting multiple moments out there and looking at the watch times, both on Facebook and YouTube, to see what resonated, and then put $20 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day against the winners. It's literally just cycling through testing. It's not a magic strategy. It's not a hack. It's not some black hat kind of thing.
I love it that you said that sometimes the ones that you think were going to perform best don't end up performing the best, and the ones that you think, I'm not really certain about this, might end up being the one that gets the 95% kind of retention time. Yeah. We found exactly the same thing when we was running, let's say, like PPC or let's say Facebook ads. There's certain ads that we think this is going to crush it, and it just doesn't at all. And then there's other ones that don't end up, that you don't think will do that well, and they end up being our best winners. But on there now, so obviously you're talking about like retention time on YouTube. So you go and get into YouTube, you go and do the promotion, and if it's getting a 95% retention time, then you'll start upping the bid because obviously people are enjoying it, people are liking that. But with regards to like Facebook or Instagram or maybe Twitter, is it all video format? Are you doing video on that as well?
Or is it still mainly video? Because what the main crux of you can take a podcast, like a 45-minute podcast, and chop it into 1-minute clips, put that on Facebook, X, which was Twitter, and YouTube, and find who actually stays. So the first filter, which dollar a day is great for, is to see who actually stays and watches. And then the second pass is you're optimizing to leads, to your cost per lead, to conversion rate, those other kinds of metrics. And video is so important because images and copy and all that, I feel like AI does all of that. But when you show two people that are actually meeting, so James, if you're in London or whatever, and I see you in the next month or two, I would rather do it in person because I feel like that's the most real thing. Like real video together, having my best performing video for HVAC Quote was actually just Marco and I, we were having steak and it was noisy and whatever. It wasn't we were just literally having a meal, and I pointed my phone at him and he said some stuff and I said some stuff, and that was the one that did the best. Completely unprofessional. We put that on Facebook, put it on X, put it on YouTube, resonated with different audiences. And it's literally just lots of short video, not professional. I think people, when they see professional looking video, they think that's AI or they think it's an ad.
Yeah, for sure. So with regards to you're doing quite a lot now of whiteboard videos. I've been watching pretty much every whiteboard video, what you've done. You're speaking about Grokkapedia, you're speaking about knowledge panels, you're speaking about KGMIDs and all these different things. And I'm hanging on going, wow, these videos are amazing. Are you creating lots of these and then checking to see. So would you create multiple ones on, let's say, knowledge panels
No,
and
just
see which
one.
one performs
No, we just put
best?
one out there and just
Yeah.
see, because you can go into YouTube, for example, and see where people, when you see a spike, that usually means someone's like, oh, what did he just say? And they rewind that 15 seconds or so. And that tells you that could be a hook, or that could be something that you pull out. And my buddy Tom Breeze, who you may know, he's the #1 performance advertiser on YouTube, according to YouTube. And he was doing this he was showing me the data for Hormozy and Mr. Beast, and looking at the top videos, how many of them were able to get to 35% completion after 8 minutes, which is the magic mark we're looking for. And so we looked at some of Alex Hormozy's videos, and we found these different blips, and then we put those at the beginning of a clip. And he was running $1 a day. And it was so funny because we were on a Zoom call, we were just sharing notes, and he said, Dennis, I want to show you what's working for $1 a day on YouTube. I'm like, Tom, I'd be honored. Like, wow, I feel like you're the boss and I'm learning from you. But he said, no, I learned it from you and all this. And it was just amazing. And the reason why it works is because when Hormozy or Mr. Beast or whatever puts out other videos, when they are able to get that super high retention, that works well in ads. So ironically, it started in long form organic, and then it turns into ads. So me as an ad guy, or data and ad guy, I try to work with people. I think you do the same thing. I want to find people who are already doing a good job, who are great communicators, who have driven a result, who are well connected, who are respected, and so anything that they make, you don't even have to be good at advertising, right? You don't have to be good at SEO. It's because it's people already know who they are. It's going to convert better, right? And so, because people would say, like, we spent a bunch of money for a basketball team, the Golden State Warriors. And the first year we spent $1 million and drove $38 million in Ticketmaster sales. And people said, well, it's really easy when you have the NBA champions. Yeah, anything you put out there is going to, sell out tickets and jerseys. And that's the same principle here. We didn't have fancy videos. We literally had these young adults that were in the stadium. They were collecting cell phone kinds of videos from the stands, different, before, during, and after the games. And that's what drove more sales, because these fans, they felt like they were closer to the action. They felt like they were, Steph Curry, we'd ask him what his favorite flavor of buffalo wing was. And we had a chicken wing sponsor at one of these chains, right? And they did way better than the commercials that they gave us. So we applied $1 a day to Uber, to United Airlines, we did it for Nike and Adidas and all these other guys, because they were winning brands. So there's already that trust. So it wasn't very hard to get to the attention threshold that we were looking for, and then run those as conversion ads. So, and it has nothing to do with Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or anything.
Yeah, for sure. I like the idea on the spike where you're using that then as being the hook. We do pretty similar as well, but sometimes we split it off into like a YouTube short and using the shorts, and then say, come and check out the long form video of it. And then you're getting, obviously, the short seems to be being pushed a lot more by Google than the long form. And then obviously it leads you on to the longer form as well. But anyone who's watching this with regards to the $1 a day strategy with Dennis Yu, it got me hooked. I initially found one of Dennis's videos. I'm now obsessed with watching all the videos that he's putting out with regards to personal branding. Also, make sure you check out the links in the description. There's a couple of follow-on videos where me and Dennis have spoke about personal branding isn't actually ego. The amount of people that think that personal branding is an ego thing, where it's not, it's to do with risk management. Make sure you check out that video. And one last one is to do with knowledge panels, getting that KGM ID and getting yourself out there, and then using this methodology to amplify everything of what you do with the $1 a day strategy. Dennis, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having you.
Thank you, James.